Greetings from the Stogie Palace. I am your host, Chris. Smoking a Drew Estate, tail end of a Drew Estate. My Uzi weighs a ton. Having some root beer and some Jameson's whiskey. So this video has to do with lengths of videos. And I'm kind of curious about some of your takes on here. You can leave a comment here on YouTube or Facebook page. I don't know if I'm going to build a website for Stogie Palace, although I own the domain. I think it's just going to have it go to here. I'm not trying to make any money off of this. That'll be a whole nother thing about what I am doing with this. But let's talk about video length. Why am I talking about video length? Well, sort of a bone of contention between the wife and myself about how long videos should be. As you probably noticed, they're all over the place on this channel. Some are short, 5 minutes, some are 30, depending on what there is it what the video's about. Is it a cigar review? Is it a review of alcohol, food recipe or instructions, or travel logs, which I'm going to have more of those, which will include, like, I do have some old ones of campgrounds. I don't know if I'll re-edit and put up here, but I have one of some Hawaiian ones, and stuff you won't see at most places, like Molokai. So the lengths are going to be all over the place, but my wife's argument, and I can see it to a point, is that nobody watches videos longer than 5 minutes. I disagree, because I like watching videos longer than 5 minutes. That's just me. It all depends on what it is. If it's a cigar review, it doesn't need to be all that long. Just hit the basics of it, what you thought of it, what your review is of it, the information. My cigar reviews go a little long because I usually throw in something having to do with that cigar or a topic like this one here, Drew Estate. I talked about consolidation of cigar companies because Drew Estate was recently bought out by Swisher. So I usually throw in something extra in there. It's just the way I roll. Nothing wrong with the short cigar videos. They're great. You want to find something out about them, you find out, you get to see it, boom, you move on to the next one. But a lot of times I watch videos from my TV on my smart TV, which I bet a bunch of you do too. If you have a bunch of short videos, you have to keep loading them with either with your smartphone, and then it'll play on your smart TV, or worse, you have to use the YouTube app on your smart TV or your Roku, which isn't always the greatest interface for typing in search terms. Making a playlist that'll just, so you can just sit there and instead of watching a TV show, which a lot of people are cutting away from cable and DirecTV and Dish Network and just going straight internet. For you people that are doing that, you're watching these kind of things. I don't want to have to build a playlist of 30 videos or however many, because sometimes the program crashes, the playlist gets lost, all the stuff you did to build up that playlist to watch for the next hour is disappeared. I've had it happen to me more than once, and I have a pretty nice Samsung TV. And Roku is good, but sometimes a little flaky. I don't usually watch a ton of videos sitting at my computer because it's a lot more comfortable sitting on my lounge, nice comfortable recliner in front of my TV. Or if I'm at work, I'll watch on my phone, but that's a bandwidth hog, and short videos have their advantage there for sure if you don't have unlimited data. So, but my videos, I assume, are going to be a lot like my podcast used to be, or my blogging used to be. Almost out there. Where they're more like series, or more like episodes. And by that I mean, like with my podcasts, they would typically be 30 minutes on average. Some would be a little shorter, some would go up to 45 minutes. Because I thought the best stuff that I produced was the stuff that was like this, more off the cuff, not so scripted. Where I would just, you could call it rambling if you want, but it's not, there's usually a point to it. I don't like rambling for the sake of rambling. I'll do that when I'm not recording something, when I'm sitting around shooting the breeze with friends or whatever. Having a convo, as we used to call it. So, I'm just curious, do you guys like these long videos or not? Do you watch long videos? Like, some of the videos I watch are 2 hours long. Now granted, like Cigar Authority, a good example. It's a video, and they do a radio show, I guess, but it's a 2-hour thing. And they also strip the audio from it and make a podcast of just audio for it. And that's usually what I do. I usually watch it because a lot of times I don't want to sit in front of the TV for 2 hours and watch it, because I'm not the only person that's watching TV in this house. And but I really like listening to the audio podcast part of it, except for all the commercials, which I understand why they're there. But I can skip through those real easily, 30-second skip with my podcatcher, so it's not a problem. Can't do that very easily on YouTube. There's no 30-second skip as far as I know on any platform for YouTube. Definitely not on mine, any of mine. But I like listening to that whole thing, the whole 2 hours. Now, granted, without the commercials, it's an hour and 45 maybe, but still, it's not short. It's not a 5-minute YouTube video. Yes, I know that's a little bit different because that's basically, they just happen to have the camera on when they were recording their radio show or podcast. But it's still a video. You know, I will watch it on occasion, especially if I'm happen to be watching when they're doing it live. And then I watch Common Man Cocktails, which is another YouTube video series where they do reviews of and recipes for cocktails, and some of those are 20 minutes long or longer, and they're pretty entertaining. You know, it's not so much you're watching for, yes, you want to learn about the cocktail, but they're just fun to watch, period. When I did my camping podcast, which I may or may not go back to, excuse me, I was really trying to keep them under 30 minutes. I know everybody's got a life, but I also know people listen to these things when they're not doing anything else, like when they're driving, when, you know, they're just passively listening to something, or it's on their list of podcasts that they listen to. I mean, I have a whole bunch of different podcasts I listen to, all varying types. Most of them are in the 30-minute range, pretty typical. It's like a sitcom type of thing. It's kind of a TV show, 30-minute thing. And I know I have a tendency to ramble. When I was blogging, at least I would write down everything, and then I'd go back and edit out stuff that just I didn't feel added anything to it or duplicated something else I said. Part of the reason why I never really did much video is because I didn't want to have to do a lot of editing, a lot of post-production work. And when you clip a video, you can see the clips, usually. That's just the way it is. I mean, I would rather all my videos be one solid thing. But if I were to do that with cigars, it would take me an hour and a half or 2 hours to do the video, because that's how long the cigar lasted. So there are edits, for sure. I don't record nonstop. I do these little ones in between. So I get my thoughts about video length by watching other people, what they do, how I adapt it, what works for me, what I think is not overly boring for you. I don't know. I don't know how much feedback I'll get on this. I know a lot of times these videos are one-way streets, and that's fine. A lot of my blogging and podcast, not so much blogging, I got feedback on that, not always positive, because it was very opinionated politically, local stuff, not a whole lot of the national stuff. I wasn't no Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck or any of those, because everybody's doing that. I would talk about my community, but still you would find, you'd be shocked how there's just as crazy people in the local community, and they get really pissed off, especially in my style, which I will tend to get in people's faces, and I will win the argument usually through humiliation. Mainly because I don't take myself too seriously. But anyway, though, what do you like in a video? What do you like in a podcast? Do you even listen to podcasts? I do both. I should say I listen to both. Actually, I do both. I do podcasts, I used to, and I don't blog as much anymore, and I just don't see no reason to blog about this channel. I guess if I was doing ads and I had my own website and I wanted to have ads on the side there, and I wanted to push a lot of traffic over to my website so those Google ads get clicked on and I can make money that way, you know, I don't see the need for any of that anymore. May change my mind if you decide to make me that YouTube superstar that I undoubtedly am bound to be sooner or later. But anyway, give me your thoughts, or not. Thumb it up. Save your thumbs down for somebody else. Comment if you like. Don't get stupid. Tell me what you think about length. And I don't mean anything other than Video link. Thank you very much. So this is your good buddy Chris. I don't know how long this is because I don't think I have a timer on the camera in here. No, I don't see one. So I don't know. I probably went too long on this, the simplest of topics. Video link. How long should it be? Well, you've already gone too long, Chris. It all depends on your motivations for why you're watching. Why are you watching? Kind of curious about that too. You like hearing my brain droppings? Is that it? No. I know I got something to add. You know, I could probably be a little more charismatic at times, but you know, just sitting out here relaxing, smoking a cigar, having a drink. Good times. So I will see you later, the next video, where I will talk about, I don't know, I don't have a list of things yet. I have some ideas. So, and I will talk about how I get ideas about my ideas. Well, anyway, I will see you later. Bye-bye.